All right. Next fight, we have Francis Marshall, undefeated 6-0, coming off of his Dana White Contender Series fight. And we have him facing Marcelo Rojo, 16-8 overall, looking to get his first UFC win, 0-2 in the UFC. What do we have for this fight?
I'm gonna tell you, we didn't get into our parlay yet, but I'm gonna say Francis is a lot for me. I really like Francis. He's if I remember correctly, the contender series vet, right?
Yep.
Yeah, contender series guy. Um, yeah, obviously had a lot of hype behind him going to the contender series. Uh, I'm looking forward to seeing him get in there, and really start to make a name for himself in the UFC. Um, I think Francis is better everywhere, really. I see him landing some good shots on his feet, use constant pressure and output to get it to the ground. And I'm gonna go Francis by submission, but I could see him stopping Rojo as well on the feet. Just depends on how the fight plays out. But I'm gonna go Francis by submission. Don't sleep on Rojo, man. He's not bad. You know, he's not a terrible guy, but I think Francis is the the prospect everybody's got the hype behind. He's first fight in the UFC. Uh, Obviously, when you make your UFC debut, there's gonna be a little bit of jitters and a little bit of unknown, but I really like Francis in this fight, and I see him ultimately getting a stoppage, man. I'm gonna go submission for Francis, but like I said, wouldn't surprise me if he catches him on the feet and stops him with strikes as well.
Yeah, man. Rojo has not had the easiest path in the UFC. First fight, I think on short notice, he fought Charles Jourdain. Jourdain's been doing pretty good in the UFC. And then his second fight faces Kyler Phillips, who is an absolute animal at 145.
Yeah,
And then, damn, you get a 6-0 Francis Marshall. So,
yeah,
in those fights, Rojo, considering the fact of who he was fighting, he didn't do that bad, right? He was getting taken down, but
yeah.
was able to get back up. And when he's standing up, he's throwing kill shots. Um, but going back to Francis, man, the kid wrestled his whole life, has a good trainer with Kurt Pellegrino. That's like his golden boy. And the kid has good decent hands for being a wrestler.
Yeah, he does.
Not
Yeah.
looking to like knock guys out, looking more of to set up the wrestling, but it's good to know that he has that in his back pocket and that he's not just a wrestler. Um, I like this fight for him. I think it's a good first fight to break him into the UFC. Uh, Going 3 rounds, going the distance with this guy wouldn't be a bad thing because there's not going to be a lot of easy fights in the UFC. Not to say this is an easy fight, but get that experience in. And I feel like Francis, like you said, could get the stoppage, could get the submission. But I'm gonna go ahead and say decision win. Francis still 6-0.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
big, the last guy he fought was 5-0. This guy has like 20 MMA fights. So I think he's gonna hang in there for a little bit, and overall, Francis gets some experience. Francis by decision is what I got.
Okay. And yeah, before we move on from this fight, I want to say this too. And yeah, you mentioned it. It's good to see a prospect like Francis Marshall. Uh, he's obviously wrestling heavy. Wrestling is his bread and butter. But like you said, it's good to see a guy, a hot young prospect that is still what was it? He's still capable on his feet. He's not just so one dimensional. He can win a fight different ways. And that's good to see, man. Uh, I think this kid's got a right future in the UFC. I
All
really
right.
do.
So we both agree Francis getting the dub.